Hey everybody, and welcome back finally to Jaraci Cup 7. Gonna be finishing off the tournament today. It is the finals between moi, Bozocow, as the Galzian here, and AGameAnx as the Soban. Let's read the info.txt real quick. I had the first pick. I picked Galzian, he picked Soban. There wasn't really too much of a surprise there. I think I kind of expected this. He banned Kalash Teeth. I thought that was actually nice for me, and then I banned KT Alt, which maybe would be a good map for me too, but I wasn't feeling terribly confident on it. First map here, gonna be the Boneyard. This is my pick. AGame picks Tauren, Shallows. I pick Galzian Territories. He picks Firebase, I pick Canyon, and he picks Tight End Passage for the ace match. Yeah, so I'm really excited to cast this one. This was played, I'm trying to think, about a week and a half ago, and AGame is in the chat, as you can see. Say hello. Let's see, game 1 here looks like this is probably going to be ref mode first. Now, you'll notice the Jaraci patch changed after this tournament. I think the ref mode first build also changed a little bit, but, no, not you, but everyone else. Everyone else has to say hello to you, right? Anyway, back then, I think this was the optimal. Yeah, look at this. Oh, look at that. Now that is just beautiful. Anyway, so I'm gonna send the base runner here. I'm trying to get scouting information on my opponent's base, try and make sure he's not going for some kind of a aggro build here that would just like kill me outright. And actually, he's going 8 up here, so this is definitely not gonna be aggro. Quite the opposite, indeed. No, actually, this is 7 up. So he's put 1 on RUs here and then 2 on CUs. That's kind of interesting. I love this targeting jammer, by the way, because this might be a place where my scanner would go, and if I put it down there, I wouldn't get any info. This is like a really cheeky play. If people are playing Soban and they don't retire the base runner... Excuse me, I've got the hiccups again. This is a really, really cool thing to try. I never aim to block scanner. Well, never mind. That's what I would be doing, but obviously... This is apparently not what he had in mind. I'm gonna see this carrier though off the scanner. I've been putting the scanner on 2 base when I go ref mode first, so it's kind of hard to say if one of them is better. I think I'm making a bit of a mistake here with this PC not being, you know, on the main base, but I'm trying to catch that probe. But yeah, this scanner here is somewhat harder to kill, but this scanner here gives you more actionable info if they're going for a rush, so they both have an advantage there. But he's pretty aware that this is ref mode first. Obviously, this probe came in. He saw what he needed to see. And I have built a skimmer as well, so I'm not playing this greedy. And AGame building LAVs, indeed. And that's maybe expectable because he did put 1 on RUs here. So if he was going up to some kind of tech, he would run out of RUs pretty quick there. Action continues. Very beautiful. Looks like AGame actually going to go for the first artifact of the game here as well. Well, so am I. But he'll get there first, so he gets that honorary title. Second PC is on the way for me now, but no tech yet from either player. And carry production upgrade just now coming out from AGame. Really nice targeting jammer here. Just going to get this LAV high ground here, and obviously it slows down the skimmers. This is probably going to be a kill here, actually. And the base runner is going to go ahead and pick up this artifact if it stops having, you know, issues. Oh. Skimmer actually manages to get away just narrowly. No, it does go down. So AGame gonna pick up that skimmer for free. Obviously, he has the inside track here too, because like this artifact hasn't been picked up yet. So it's up to me then to wrestle control of the field as far as artifacts go. But AGame is actually already moving up onto 2 base here, or 3 base. Sorry. So this is a pretty good opener from AGame. Things are going pretty much, I'd say, exactly how he wants them to go. He's got the advantage on greed, but I also have kind of the push priority, right? So this is great. Fighter and gunship then give me the tech from him. And for me, railgun tech starting at about the same time. If you didn't know, railguns tend to die to air units if you don't defend them, so this is always a little bit risky, but I'm feeling okay about this clearly. I think it's because I see LAVs but no tech, so I'm thinking it could be AAVs, it could be rails, it could be LAV spam. I kind of think that like everything is gonna be, you know, pretty decent, like, to be countered with railguns, except of course for air, and that's what he's going for, so... Things kind of went perfect for me this game. Yeah, I agree, but I don't think that's by chance. I don't make it a secret, I don't think. I think AGame is better than me. LEV Armor 1 finishing now. Probe here. Oh. Oh, okay, that was his LAV. I was like, did I throw a scanner on this or something? His LAV moved into the targeting jammer and like lost vision for a second. But yeah, the probe's still chilling out over the carrier here, so I'm going to send the base runner over to deny it. It does go down in the end, but he already saw rail tech. That's obviously this module. So he's going to know all about that. And targeting jammer is available on the space runner, but he's holding it for now. Okay, there's the targeting jammer. Just trying to buy time. If you can keep this guy alive, it'd be kind of nice. But not definitely the end of the world if he dies. But as you can see, like I said, I had to push priority. I had to move out, build army to like get this done, right? Actually, this base runner is gonna survive. That's really nice for A-game. Anyway, so I have, you know, now some pretty good numbers of strikecraft to attack this base runner, but A-game got up on the 3 base faster, so definitely he has the advantage in that sense. And it's gonna be a gunship, actually, built almost immediately from him. Pretty spicy unit. I think it's everyone's favorite to watch. Oops, I turned the health bars off. Massive win for me right there, of course. Assault railgun's starting to be produced here. Now this is what's going to allow me to fight these LAVs with the skims. If I have more production than my opponent, I'm always going to be able to fight like with just skims, right? But he probably will get more production because it's cheaper for him. Assault railguns, though, they trade really, really nicely into LAVs here if you know how to use them right. And A-game is correct, right? I mean, gunship, very, very strong unit against skims in particular, because skims want to abuse the fact that they have very fast movement speed. They're faster than LAVs. And they want to, you know, move around and be fluid on the map and do a lot of damage like that, right? The gunship basically says, hey, if you leave the anti-air net, you're just gonna die, right? So this is a really powerful thing. And as you can see, I don't have any anti-air yet. Oh dear, and instead of taking into missile ships like a sane person, apparently I'm going straight to honor guards, which is pretty classic Bozo. This is actually not the worst trade for these assault rails, but it definitely could be better. But the real problem is, here comes that gunship. Base runner's in the hood, but he's not going to do much against a gunship, is he? Massive damage right here. Now, fortunately for me, A-game's LAVs are not, like, super healthy right now, either. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the worst trade. But, you know, like, the assault rails getting jumped on themselves was not too bad, but yeah, the gunship coming out there, massive damage, of course. Fortunately for me, though, he's all in air units here, so he has to dock and charge up to fire again, and he doesn't have that much strikecraft left, but I may lose this base runner for sure. A-game's got the numbers to beat this. He's got the upgrade advantage as well, but he doesn't seem to want to push it too much. He is going to get that base runner, though, and that's exactly what he wanted. He'll probably back away at this point. Assault rails are still out, of course. And the PCs provide, you know, decent anti-air, so he's not going to be able to just sort of do whatever he wants there. Missile ship tech is done as well, and the first honor guard is actually coming out now from the carrier. I'm not sure if I even mentioned I was teching that, but there it is. Time for HGC AA, oh yeah. You know it, baby. I mean, what else would I get, right? This honor guard is really nice for me, though, because even if he, like, these gunships are never going to kill it. So even if he does good damage to the assault rails, I can at least survive, right? Rampa has finished his noodles, that's very good to know. So yeah, I'd say damage done for A-game, very, very good here, and he's got, I'd say, definitely the advantage on the field right now. He's not going to be able to rely on air too much more unless he chooses to go into bombers, but no, it's going to be assault cruiser fab instead, so he probably wants to go into artillery. And in that case, by the way, honor guard anti-air actually used to kill a probe there. I didn't catch that, but that's pretty funny. In that case, he's in an advantageous position, but he hasn't won yet. He still has lots of work to do. This gunship here, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. Maybe he's actually trying to bait the shots from the missile ship, but... well, if that was his plan, he doesn't want to lose it. Oh gosh! Woo! Okay. God hates Weave's style over there. If he was trying to bait out shots, I'd say he did pretty well. A-game, of course, with an artifact, by the way, headed to the extraction zone. Now, he's also got the targeting jammer. You can imagine if that drops on these missile ships, I'm not going to have a good time, so... definitely I want to be careful on this approach here. I can't rush it, so he is going to get this one out, no contest. But perhaps I can kill the base runner on the way back. You always want to kill these things if you can. And I should really be watching out as well for backstabs, but I don't know. A-game actually has got AV tech here, and AV is, of course, very good backstabbing units. But he's actually going to send it to the front line, so here it is. No rail tech from him, though. Wait, I take it back. A-game has got rail tech. And he's got mag excel, too. Am I just stupid? No, that's true. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Heavy vehicle upgrades coming out now. Very, very widely spread out upgrades is A-game here, but I think that's wise. Me too, and I also love how they're squishy now. Because if you remember, when base runners... when we first really started abusing, like, the extract meta, I mean, obviously in vanilla this was the thing to abuse, but... base runners became way too easy to just get, like, immense pressure on your opponent with, but now they're, like, really high-value targets, and they're very squishy, and so it's like, you know, fights are gonna start up around these base runners, and I really like that feeling. AVs, by the way, definitely playing this the way that they should. They're trying to just sort of camp these hills here and make me come to him. But he hasn't got that many of them, and the honor guard is obviously going to wreck the LAVs if they try to come out. Smoke deployed then on this base runner to try and keep it alive. But if we hold the stalemate for long enough, the base runner will have the targeting jammer again, and maybe he can make a play. But I think for now, he's actually just kind of trying to hold. He's just sort of trying to, you know, delay here. One artifact is done for me, by the way, so this carrier is going to be okay at holding up these AVs, but this counterattack may hurt a little bit, but it looks like the fight is starting to brew over here on this side. Missile ship barrages were used already. Yeah, I was going to say with the AGameAnx, we've only seen one railgun so far. I think spreading wide on techs is usually pretty good, but unless you don't build them, right? Base runner heal, by the way, can be popped here to try and keep these guys alive, and the AVs are going to make the push right now. But it doesn't look terribly good. If I was microing really well, I'd try and focus the guy who got sundered. Ooh. This is a... Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is for all the freaking marbles here. Notice the missile ship's pretty close up to the hill. They were killed by the, AAVs here, so there's actually not that much anti-air, but Honor Guard anti-air is here. I turned it on though, and that was a bit of a risk because obviously if he had gotten through with these strike craft, maybe I would really be regretting that. This heavy rail maybe could survive if I micro this correctly. Salvager's taking fire as well, gunship is just flying around. Still taking a lot of damage by this Honor Guard here. One Salvager gonna go down, but it looks like we're gonna be okay on the main. And both of the gunships survive again though, and this is again crucial for A-game. Wow, that was pretty cool. Carrier's unlocked for me now, by the way. And A-game gets that third artifact extracted. So obviously, like, whether or not that push worked, which I think that probably was not value for him, but he definitely did get an artifact out of it, so there's obviously value to be had in that. And checking the units lost tab, he is still technically ahead, but I think his army was better before this. And again, you also have to realize a lot of that money is actually in upgrades and tech and stuff like that. And like, Assault Cruiser tech was done, by the way, but hasn't been built here, and I think it's because he realized, well, it's not going to do well against Honor Guards, but I don't know, I kind of feel in that case you gotta just not build it. Honor Guard anti-air going to be used here. That's maybe a mistake, because there's no other anti-air assets here. Indeed, I'm going to have to sort it back up a little bit. And this backstab's so annoying. This is something A-game is really good at. He just always is threatening these backstabs. And it's difficult if you're not, if you're a pleb like me, you know, to deal with this. But I do have one heavy rail that just spawned here. That's pretty lucky for me. But I need more anti-air, and I have indeed built it, so 2 missile ships gonna pop now. Because right now this Honor Guard is actually the only anti-air on this front line, except for, I guess, the base runner. But speaking of which, 2 base runners produced, actually, and quite a few heavy rails also. Oh, and we may have a little bit of contact here, actually. Remember, AGameAnx and full armor done for these railguns. These guys are beefy boys, but there's not that many of them. And I'm kind of thinking I can sort of muscle the carrier around here. I got some kind of tech just now, I didn't quite catch what it was. But I'm thinking, you know, yeah, he wants to stall on these hills. Maybe I can kind of throw the carrier out here and force these guys to move if he doesn't have that many rails. Honor Guard is in combat here, but he's doing okay, actually. Apparently he has high ground. Can you believe that? Well, just the upgrades give him armor, right? For the AVs. That was actually true in vanilla as well. Actually, Soban rails used to have even more armor than Coalition ones, which was like, you know, as if Soban rails needed to be stronger, right? By the way, 2 artifacts grabbed for me now, so I'm holding these guys, but I don't really want to push the extraction zone. This is where I want the fight to take place. By the way, oh dear, backstab of air, actually. Ooh, I mean, this is looking like a juicy target, isn't it? Things are not going terribly well for A-game on this front line, though. So this is a very, very nice backstab here, and of course, the gunships can tank this for a little bit. He's going to want to dock this guy, though. Uh-oh. Might have cut it a little too close there. Oh no, he came in for another pass. He actually would have survived. God 8 Sweeps is going to be very, very sad to hear the news about this one. But the backstab doesn't quite succeed at clearing out the rails, though. And this anti-air unit actually persisted, so I'm actually not in that much danger here. That's really, really good for me. That could have gone much worse. But instead, most of the strike fighters are dead from that last push. And, yeah, one of the gunships went down here as well. Yeah, no, I agree, because this front line here kind of stalled out, but not in your favor, I would say. Not taking interceptors? No. If there were bombers, I probably would, but I feel like I'm probably okay to not get that tech here. Oh, look at this really good targeting jammer here, though. The Honor Guard is still just wrecking this battlecruiser, though. I mean, it's not as good at anti-capital as just heavy rails are, but it can hold its own, that's for sure. The targeting jammer is going to be cleared out, as well as the space runner and the probe, which just got deployed from it. Looks like this BC is actually going to fall here. This is quite a big deal for A-Game. Oh, it's so close. I'm actually going to kill the skims. No, okay, so the Honor Guard gets one last shot, and you can see that AV so close to getting that smoke off, but he can't quite do it. This game is starting to get pretty intense, I would say. These base runners headed to the extraction zone, that's what I'm looking for. Power 3 done for me, by the way, but A-Game is just now starting to get his power tech started here. And he's got a lot of investment into technology that he isn't using, like Honor Guards, right? Or like Assault Cruisers, right? So definitely you can see how this puts him behind in the power race here. This might be trouble. Gunship getting some decent shots here. But double HGC anti-air would just kill it immediately right now. Yeah, it's dead. Honor Guard anti-air, my friends. A good unit. This guy's getting some veterancy too. But what a name, Spotto. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would be kind of mad at my parents for calling me Spotto, but that's whatever, that's whatever. To each their own. Oh, me too, man. Seriously, my favorite unit in the game. They're so cool. They just look cool too, like, oh. The visual design and like the sound of the railgun, oh my gosh. And they have anti-air. I mean, what are they not good for, right? By the way, this is actually a 4th base runner that I'm producing now here. And this is something I haven't ever really done before, but I've theorized about it. Like, I'm on 1 artifact, but I could actually extract all 4 and win here if I can pick them up. A-Game knows it too, so he's getting ready to make a push here. Power 4 is going to be done right before this, though. That's very fortuitous timing for me. My rail force is a little thin, though. I'm kind of relying on these Honor Guards to get a lot of this, the value here. If there was still heavy air, imagine, I can't really use anti-air, because these guys need to be doing, the damage to ground. But the skims are on top of the railguns here, and this is very, very good for me. That one strike fighter trying to do what he can, but he's no gunship. Battlecruiser having to smoke, he's gonna have to back away as well. And Rompa, I would agree with you, except we recently learned that Soban battlecruisers are even better. Let's see if I can, like, listen to it fire from far away. Fire a shot for us, please. Please. I'm literally just waiting to hear this guy shoot. Oh! Listen to that, man! It's like... Oh, that's like next level. Holy goodness. I didn't know this until JC5 actually, that they had such an awesome sound effect for these battlecruisers. Anyway, this is gonna be a little bit tense here for A-Game. Power 5 on the way, by the way, and obviously these are pretty cruise missile-able targets. We do have all 4 of these artifacts picked up as well. But I don't even think without the cruise missile he can really win this. Saban carrier's pretty good though, and it's actually trading more decently than I thought it would. This is sort of a... You know, this is more okay than I thought it would be, and this BC is going to be able to heal up. Thanks to that support cruiser that A-Game wisely has behind it. Power 5 is done, though, now. But yeah, A-Game has actually won the hill here. This is quite surprising. Triple HR production, yeah. We are mining out the main base, though, and you can see salvagers idle over here for A-Game, retiring for me. But these base runners are everything now. And the thing is, like, A-Game would love to continue the push down on this side, but if he does that, I'm just gonna drive over here and win, right? So he really kind of has to deal with this too. This is a tricky situation. He's kind of split here, and I'm not really worried about air anymore. So I'm just clumping these guys up like a mofo. But uh-oh, Sandstorm is getting up on top of the railguns as well, and there is an assault cruiser to block, but the Honor Guard just dunks them all. It doesn't even matter. Aelin's getting deployed as well, and A-Game doesn't have too much power in that system, but a bit. This BC getting low as well. A-Game really can't afford to lose this BC, but those rails going down there is just so crippling. Yeah, HGC are just like such a good unit. Once you get like 3 of them like this, right? It's really hard to stop that. AV getting chunked out on this side as well. I wonder if HGC would still feel good if they were sort of if they were sort of like specialized more as like very much anti-strike craft, but they had low damage. But I don't know. Because right now the damage on the HJC is still higher than the railgun. Its DPS is lower, but its damage is higher, so it can still do quite a bit of damage to things. But that's vanilla. Yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, it's true. Like when people overinvest in HJC, you can really punish by just going carrier power on them, right? By the way, look at this delicious split here of these sand skimmers, as I then target fire on a targeting jammer because I'm such a pro. Artifact denied by AGame. That's really nice for me because I could still lose by some freak accident. He's on 3, right? If you like picked up 2, so getting that guy's actually not nothing. And then I'm gonna missile barrage the ground here. This poor AC's got to feel pretty persecuted for that one. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I should have waited before I could like see his army. But I am obviously, I'm aware that this is gonna come down to the end here. AGame, full power and armor. He's gonna go for the Desperado play. He does have that microwave emitter. He's gonna fire it over here. Just trying to delay these base burners as long as he can, and it is going to work, so he's going to buy a little bit of time. But the army for AGame here is really just lacking, and if I had more guts, I guess, I would probably just kind of push in and win here. I didn't quite realize how low he was, army-wise, but this is definitely the play that he has to make, though. He doesn't really have a choice in this regard. This missile ship here going to get dunked on. It's unfortunate. Yeah, pretty much. Power 6 done, by the way. I could maybe go range calibration. I think that might be a good play here, because obviously I was fighting these BCs earlier. This AC, like, he wants to be close to HDCs, right, but it's just there's too many of them. He can't really fight it. That carrier is basically just kind of standing alone here to try and hold the extraction, so if I wanted to, I could really drive up here, but again, I'm too chicken, I guess. I'm a little bit afraid to go in there, maybe just because I know that I have the winning position and I really don't want to throw it. Speaking of throwing, though, here we're actually going to go in on an AC. It's maybe not the best idea. Especially with that overcharge ability on, so yeah, I'm going to back away from that one. 10 skims versus AC. And that's the one carrier actually trying to get a bit more ground here. He's sort of moving out onto this side. Those are afraid of commitment. That's especially funny because of what happened yesterday, but you wouldn't know about that. Cool. Honor Guard's flomping some shots in here onto this battle cruiser. These rails on the high ground definitely gonna take no prisoners. I just have the numbers here. It's not easy to win a rail fight when you're behind, because if he has the numbers, it's really quite difficult to you know, push on them. Maybe. No, not quite. That's what happened, but not quite. But almost. Anyway, this AC here dropping a dropping a missile barrage onto the carrier. I was a little bit nervous about this guy dying actually, because there are still. Oh, this is only 1 BC. See, I was insensitive so much, I thought there were like 4 BCs on this hill here. No, it's just 1, so that's gonna be okay for me. And the base runners are headed to that extraction zone. The carrier's there to stop them, but I don't think they can. Maybe they can. Missile barrage comes out though. This is gonna land right on that sub-1 carrier. AC is gonna go down, but this guy's maybe gonna die. Oh my gosh, I have another one. Microwave emitter though, landing in a very, very nice place, I would have to say here. And there's another gunship rebuilt actually, but yeah, it's not gonna kill the army though. It's really just a zoning tool, and well, there's no zoning to be done here. There's no one to kill them. The support cruiser is actually gonna kill a railgun like this. OMG, support cruiser's so OP, right? Rail's making a desperate play here as well to try and deny the artifacts again, but the honor guard's gonna slap them down. This guy's surviving with 30 HP. That's a pretty feels bad man moment for AGame. And at this point, if you didn't know the outcome of the game, you probably don't deserve to be on this channel. Oh my gosh, these support cruisers are like chonking the rails. They killed every one of them. Oh my gosh, it's because I was targeting the salvagers. I wasn't really paying attention to it, so they just killed every single railgun. That's hilarious. Oh boy. ALM's being deployed here too. I love this. AGame is going like maximum tryhard mode. He's got full power and armor actually, but oh yeah, because he needs to heal this guy up. Yeah, he's going full tryhard though with like the ALMs here to try and stop the base runners, but there's no money left, there's no eco left, there's no army left. All that's left to do is to die here. And indeed, it is going to be by artifact. And have you ever seen something like this happen before? Holy moly. Oh, that one nearly died too. That is going to be the end of game 1. And wow, what a start to this freaking series. Holy moly. Huh, well played to me. Let's load in game 2. Oh wait, I can't delete that file. I'm actually loading it, or playing it right now. So game 1 goes to me, but game 2 going to be on Torrent Crater. Obviously this is going to be the new layout, as of course we do not play in the old one anymore, or else you'll suffer YouTube humiliation. The map after this will be the Shallows though, and of course you should note in J-Skate we're going to be playing with Shallows alt, not the old Shallows. That'll be pretty fun to see. But this one is going to be the vanilla Shallows that we play next. Torrent, of course, I think actually kind of an eco map these days. It's funny because this is like the aggro map, right? And it still is good for players who, you know, are good at like low numbers of units kind of dodging around these hills and such, but the rush distance was always pretty long on this map. Now it's even a little bit longer. And also, as you can see, you know, you have a wreck on this side and a wreck on this side, so if you come into his second base to push him off of that, you never really know what you're going to get. You might not actually hit that second base. He might just kind of reposition. Combat music is playing. I'm not sure exactly why. Because these resources, man, they don't mind themselves. This quick drop is getting a little ugly here, but oh shoot. I've done better, but this is a pretty decent quick drop here. A-Game, of course, going for SC first as well, and I think that's because of the map. But he also, you know, he's not afraid to go eco against me. Didn't win the last game with it, but I don't think that's gonna dissuade him from going eco, you know, just off of one map. He's not that kind of player. Sometimes I'm that way. Targeting Jammer deployed here onto this area like where we would have seen it in vanilla. I think that's actually pretty wise, because if he expands to his second over here, this is still a big vulnerability, just like it was in the old days. And that probe is going to fly out now. LEV Fab has started. That probe going to deftly dodge the base runner. It's very nice from him, but he kind of already has the info that he needs. There's a unit here. He saw it. It's a base runner. There's the probe. So this is ref mode first from Bozo. No reason to, you know, panic or anything like that. And I'm going to see that as well, but of course, I mentioned in the last game I like to put that scanner on the second base. But this map, I don't know what the second base is, so I'm going to put it on the main instead. I do see SC first, though, so there's not going to be any surprises for me. Apparently that scanner was a little bit too close, actually, though, because the Sport Cruiser could shoot at it. Well, I suppose they could, Captain Pink, but I suppose any of them could, right? Those like, chain guns actually do a lot of damage, though. Not to, like, carriers, really, but, you know. Yeah, because then it'd be a battleship. Well, it is true for the Coalition carrier, I guess, that they can't, you know... Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, right. Because these guys have the deck, right? They need to drop the strike fighters and stuff on here, or, like, launch them off and land them and whatever, but, like... These guys land on the pad and they launch out of, like, this hole here, so yeah, there is actually space up on the top. I never thought about that. Fascinating. I never suspected such things could be. Sajuk said no, yeah. They prayed about it, and Sajuk was like, nah, guys, you shouldn't do that, and thus it is, amen. By the way, second base runner here for A-Game is he is teching into AV Fab, but the second base runner, that is a very aggressive play. He wants to go for field control here, and he wants to grab the artifacts as fast as he can. Base runner heal gonna be used by me to get a little bit of a health bar advantage, but then I slept on it here, so this guy's gonna get away. To be fair, though, this guy has targeting jammer, so maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise. He could have jammed me and then gotten the kill off of this guy. Still, though, a bloodless game. No units lost at all here. But that's going to change now, so down goes the probe. A-Game trying to scout tech here, but a second base runner from me, too. What the heck is going on here? Oh my gosh! Look at this! Bro. Bruh. Bruh. Who's gonna get this? I think Galzian has a speed advantage, right? No, they're even. Oh, the targeting jammer! It's gonna slow him down! Dude, I forgot about this. Oh, Oh my gosh! Dang, nicely done. That is so clutch with the targeting jammer. Oh my gosh. That is like the coolest thing I've seen all week. Grand Theft Base Runner, man. That is insane. Wow. And you know, the other thing is, like, I think in vanilla, like, back in the vanilla days, not like the game mode itself, but, you know, the meta back then, this probably wouldn't have mattered too much, right? But, like, these days, we're very aggressive with artifacts, and, like, this is gonna come back to haunt me. Like, that was actually a really important play. That's crazy. I actually, you know, if I had known that he was coming, I could have stopped it by, like, sending the skims out, and then he would have to use the targeting jammer to fight me. I think I was gonna win that, but... You know, hindsight's 20/20, of course. And the Space Runner's gonna try to pop out again and try and get this middle artifact, but there are AVs out. And, I have Assault Chip Tech, yeah, but I haven't got the, I haven't got any of that out on the field. Actually, I take it back. I've just built one here, but... Interceptor Fab on the way for me, so that's gonna be the tech choice. Moving into the, mid-game here, but... And Armored Unit Defense is one as well. It's gonna be very nice. This AV here probably could trade efficiently against these skims. I don't really want to go in with those numbers, but he's going to catch this Space Runner as well. Oh, no, Bozo, come on, man. You don't do things like this. You know he's going to have AVs out there. Sometimes I'm disappointed with my own play, but that's alright. Assault Chip here, oh, narrowly saves the skimmer here. I guess A-Game smoked a little bit early. Probably just in sensors, he didn't see it. Pro going to get sniped here as well for me. That's quite nice. This Space Runner simply can't escape, I don't think. AVs are faster, so I should probably move him out onto that direction and pop the heal when he's about to die. Actually, coming back home, that's a little bit of a mistake, but, like, whatever. The heal can just buy a bit of time, right? You don't have to worry about this guy quite as fast. Sniped. I'm still geeking out about that. That was, like, the craziest thing, man. Note, though, again, I said, this is probably going to come back to haunt me, right? He's got 2 base runners still, and he's going for that middle extract now. Man, what a play! I'm just, oh, that was so cool. A-Game, by the way, because he's doing this aggressive play here, he has gotten vision, so he's getting anti-air tech as I'm building interceptors, and that's bad news bears for the Gaussian player, usually. I seem to want to fight this. This is maybe not wise. Well, Micro's there, so we're not losing guys yet. I'm really trying to clear the field, I guess, for this base runner, right? But there's another AV coming, too. I really just need to, you know, commit some assault chips into this. Third artifact picking up, right now. Yeah, that's a good point, because you're gonna have anti-air in a lot of places, and you're also gonna have, you know, the ability to drop turrets. Yeah, I agree, and I think I also needed to go for tech about as fast as I did, but then just straight build it rather than going straight into air. Looking back on it, I would say you are correct about that. I love that smoke there, look at that. He actually keeps that guy alive for a second, but the interceptors aren't going to be able to snipe him down, so it's alright. And we are up onto 3 base, but we're actually moving off now, and you can see this carrier's moving out here. Now this is a bit of a desperado, you can tell, because I don't want to be doing this, but I have to, because if I let him get to 4 extractions, like, I just don't know what's going to happen. 36! Last year there were 37! That's pretty cool, though. Oh! Targeting jammer. I thought those guys were in, but I guess not, actually. Huh. It's a little hard to tell exactly what the radius on that jammer is, since it's a dome, right? Like, it covers some ground that it actually doesn't jam. Yeah, they are. I actually like that, though. I feel like it's, you know, you really have to deal with AAVs if they're getting in on your base. Which, I'm not like you didn't have to deal with them before, but, you know. I feel like it should be punishing when armor gets onto your eco. Because, like, Gaussian has that advantage, right? Because these guys have got AoE. By the way, carrier here, with that Sunder, going to be hitting these assault chips, and you've got to worry about that, because obviously if there had been a bunch of LAVs, they could probably just kill these guys. And the logistics module as well, kind of trying to hold me off here. Huge LAV control there, yeah, I agree. I've retreated back onto my 3rd base, and now I have the PC coming out, so this is okay, because I'm going to be on 3rd base now, but, like, I don't know if I can stop these. Not to mention, A-Game, of course, with the 2 extracts instead of my 1, he does have a power advantage, and he's teching into Power Reserve 2 here. As for me, I'm Power 2, yeah. As for me, I'm taking into Power 1 here, and I have 1 artifact, so, I mean, I can't really fight his carrier. I think Soban is a bit unique in the sense that their carrier really can't fight you know, even with other carriers at the same power level in the early game, but then it's better than them in the late game. But, yeah, I thought you were going to mention that. We do have Siege Cruiser tech coming out as well, and I think what I should have gone instead was probably just rails at this timing and tried to use the rails to, like, get control of the extraction zone, but I don't know. Siege is not bad, but it's too slow, and I've criticized people for this so many times recently that it's kind of silly for me to do it as well, but here you are. Sometimes we never learn. I am going to get an extraction out, though, so that's kind of nice for me. But see that anti-air turret post? That's very, very wise as well. He's got the missile battery in tow. A-Game is ready for this, and he's not going to give up this ground easily. He wants these extractions, and if he can get them, he just simply will. Not to mention, he's got the game-winning artifact potentially being picked up here by this base runner, too, so... You know, let alone, like, threats of backstabs by his AVs, let alone, you know... obviously his carrier just powering up and being a win condition. He could win just off these artifacts right here. So this is definitely a little bit do or die for me, and Siege I don't think is what you want to have here. Gonna knock out an AV there, that's a nice start here, but these interceptors really can't do much. He's even got one of these guys back home in the anti-air turret post here. This is just like a beautiful net. These interceptors are just gonna be absolutely worthless, I think. First base runner is coming up, and I'm a little bit slow on the draw here, but I do have power 3 on the way. Targeting jammer dropped here on these assault ships. Siege cruiser is out. But we do have the carrier block going on. Uh-oh, Interceptor's getting a Desperado on the space runner. I really feel like I just have to. So I am going to deny the win condition. That's good. But I don't know if I can even stop this one. I'm going for the carrier block here. This is what I need to do. I do have the carrier block set in. Okay, so the space runner is probably going to get blocked as well. So we're gonna get 2 of them. This commit here on this side is probably definitely a mistake, though. But now the carrier really just kind of has to get out of here. And this is the problem, right? I knew that this is a win condition for A-Game, so I had to try and stop it, but now, like, what have I got, right? I do have a backstab. So, I mean, we're not out of this yet. I mean, this is recoverable, but it's looking pretty grim. Power 3 gonna finish now. It's just trailing me with these AVs. That's pretty funny. I'll put that in the healing, I suppose. That Siege Cruiser did not survive either, so we lost that also. Power 4 gonna be on the way then. Looks like it's just all power into speed. Just get us out of here. Oh boy, the det pack's looking pretty good here. And this missile battery is not the priority, because obviously, oh, really good micro there to keep this guy alive. Obviously, like, my interceptors are dead, so it's not like I'm really worrying about, you know, what that missile battery is gonna do to me. This is a battle on multiple fronts here, and I'm actually managing to micro quite nicely. Oh, is this guy gonna get out? He is! Okay, this is really nice for us then. But that third extraction is done. This is 2 away from victory for A-Game, mind you, and he has, you know, this base runner out. This artifact is ready to be picked up, and I'm gonna make a play for it. Trying to catch this one so that he can't grab it instead. There's a lot of Soban rails, though. And he's actually got a couple... Oh, he's got a lot on this side. Yeah, he's really committing into holding his eco here, but like... Oh, did I miss a money shot? Oh yeah, all the skims are dead. Well, that's a yikes. I do grab this artifact though, so I'm going to delay this just a little bit more once again. But this many railguns to defend the flank, and he still has this overwhelming army here. That's kind of how you know you're really ahead, right? This one here then could be the game-winning artifact, and I have at least delayed this one being picked up, but it's not going to be worth a whole lot to me. Siege Cruiser coming out now, but Rail Tech, I think I really should have teched into it at this point still, but it was hard to make that call because it felt like it wouldn't possibly come out in time. Sejuk is angry, yeah. Sejuk is watching the missile battery shots. Range upgrade just now finally coming out. That's going to delay power 5 if that is indeed what I want to go for. I've got all this carrier power, but I can't win a rail fight because, well, I have approximately 0 rails. So, range I really kind of need in order to, you know, push these guys out, and then that delays power 5. It's tricky. Yeah, probably, but the defender has somewhat of an advantage in a rail fight because he can set up that high ground. I might have been able to hold him, like, here instead of on my 3rd. It's hard to say, though. Carrier's popping in here, and here's the barrage. It's actually on this location here. Man, when I played on that laptop, sometimes I would, like, hit a barrage and click somewhere and then move the mouse, and then it would give the order, and it would just barrage, like, over here randomly. That was the worst thing, dude. That was a terrible feeling. This new PC is so nice. Look at this! He's targeting jammering my scanner. That's hilarious. Skimmer's gonna get up here. They're gonna deny this base burner at least. 2 siege are out now, so I can kind of hold off here for a bit. But power 4 is coming out. And I've got to imagine, like, A-Game, once he gets enough power on that carrier, siege is not great against carriers. I think he'll just be able to sort of force me out with that carrier. Skims here really, really need to get rid of this base burner as fast as they can. So some target fire would be nice, Bozo. Okay, there we go. We are going to catch that. And now this base burner headed over here to grab the last artifact. So I really need these skims to stay alive. Oh, there's actually 2 of them as well. Nerf artifacts win. No. Although actually, that's an interesting point. Do we have the power A-Game, like with patching, to change the rate at which artifacts spawn? I've actually kind of always wondered that. Carrier taking damage here, of course, as you would expect, but a barrage is coming out. We don't have that, okay. That's unfortunate. Because that'd be kind of cool. You could have, like, funky game modes that way, right? Oh my gosh. This many skims dying is just never a good feel, but I feel like I've got to do it for this base burner. 3 siege cruisers are out now, so we do have the ability to fight some rails, but you know, we've got it all to do, because this guy did get away, and the skims were able to kill off one of these base burners, but just another one got out. And he is, you know, only mere meters away from that extraction zone. And to be honest with you, I think I kind of forgot that this guy was even here during the game. Oh yeah, like they did in the campaign. And you can see, actually, this carrier is kind of free to come in here now. We've killed all these railguns, but just doesn't really matter. That artifact is going to extract. And man, what a just, like, constant beatdown from A-Game here. This was, like, this whole game, I was like, oh my gosh. I've got to worry about this again and again and again. So really, really nicely done with that artifact pressure from him. Very, very good game from A-Game, I've got to say. Classy. Vlasic. Game 3, though, gonna be on the shallows. Yeah, a lot of this, like, base burner extracting. I could tell. No spoilers, but this is not gonna go away. He harasses me, like, constantly with these base burners in this series. Oh, and if I recall, this game has a bit of a depressing opener in that sense for me. I was like, oh no, not again. Because kind of a similar thing happens. But I've gotta say, like, that play with the scanner, or sorry, with the targeting jammer to, like, get that artifact picked up, that was so crazy. I'm still losing my mind about that. I didn't realize, like, in game, you know, just how close that was. I think I probably messaged you, like, oh my gosh, you little, you know, but I didn't quite see, like, that close. My goodness. What a freaking move. Shallow's gonna be the map, of course. Now, if you know, for the next tournament, we're gonna be playing on the new layout. The carrier spawns here, one base here, one base here. And then I was kind of experimenting with, like, maybe adding a 4th base, but I never, like, that only had RUs in it, like maybe over here. But I think we don't want to change the meta so far for this tournament. We can maybe experiment with that next time. Really? So, like, your whole goal was, like, I'm gonna go over there and stop him from getting that? You might have seen it with the probe. Oh, yeah, because the probe sniped the second... No, got sniped by the second base runner, so you did see it there. Riftmode first, by the way, coming up for me. Now, the Shallows is actually a map you can rail rush on. So that was, like, that was an option, but I didn't really want to try it. It's difficult to pull it off. Very, very, very easy to get away with greed on this map, right? I think... Like, even players who like greed don't like this map because of how easy it is, you know what I mean? It really feels almost unpunishable in the early game. So, I didn't want to try for anything like that. I'm just going to go for ref mode first here. And I really should have been moving this PC back a little bit earlier, but that's going to be alright. It is Spooktober, you're right. And there is freaking lightning. Now that is pretty spooky. The legendary Soul Cruiser Eco Denial? No, I don't think he is. Although, to be fair, you did go SC first for that build, so we didn't know yet. Probe denied, by the way. And I also put down the scanner here. This is not, like, to check bases, but I wanted to keep him in the blind and still get info about, like, if an army came through the middle. So I thought that was kind of an interesting move for me, but, you know, I definitely assumed this was greed. I was not expecting anything else. As for me, I'm going to be filling out my second base right now, and A-Game is going full on Sieves here, and he started LAV production. Assault Pack teching as well. I would actually like to see carry production upgrade first. Maybe he does as well, he just canceled something. Yeah, he needs 2 more. I think he's probably gonna quick drop here and get that. No, it's straight into rails. Okay, well that is an interesting move. And the probe here is finally gonna confirm, yes, this is ref mode first. I'm not about to die to a rail rush, which is nice for him to know. But obviously, like, when he saw that scanner, he probably assumed. Then again, though, if you are gonna, like, do a rail rush on the shallows, you often can't really kill this main base. You're just trying to deny and then, like, get all these extractions out, so. But this probe also gonna survive, so this is very nice as well. And, rail fab actually finishing for me as well. I guess I started this one earlier, but I didn't catch that. Production upgrade on the way as well. And now we're gonna have our first little scuffle here with, Strikecraft. I want to try and stop him from extracting if I can, but there's really no way. I did grab the inside track artifact here, but I didn't feel confident just driving straight to the extraction zone. And indeed, I think I probably would have lost it if I had done that. And so, this is a little tricky for me though, because obviously I don't quite have the numbers to win this. But I'm thinking, okay, well I've got this ability, I've got base burner heal, maybe I can make this work. Artifact is going to extract for A-game here in just a moment. And Assault Pack is on the way now. So there's the extraction. Base runner considering the move here, but there is high ground on these LAVs. It's going to catch the probe at least. A little bit anyway, does some damage. LAVs with a really nice position here with the high ground, but here we go, we're going to make the move now. Base runner heal is working pretty well, so we get the first kill. Chasing up on this high ground, we don't want to get him, like if he has the blue plus, we've probably lost the fight, that's my thinking. And it's close, but oh, I stopped for a second, he gets a little bit of high ground there as well. Focus fire is actually not quite there for A-game, but we do end up retreating, and we trade pretty much evenly there. Very, very tense fight there, but I'm not able to get control of this high ground, so A-game is going to maintain control over the extraction zone for me. Missile ship fab on the queue for me now, so I'm a little bit worried about air, as you can tell, and production cruiser on the way. I'm worried about air because I can't really scout, right? If I had, you know... Oh, he could, like, throw a targeting jammer just to be cheekier. If I had, I don't know, like a lot more skimmers, like if I had one I could send out on the flank, maybe I could, you know, maybe I could go for something like this. But as it stands, I'm actually still on 1 production slot. Uh-oh, okay, targeting jammer is deployed here. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to make a play, but, we do have that PC out now, so we're finally able to double produce army, and yet I'm building salvagers. What a mad lad. This assault railgun, I feel, gives me actually a pretty decent bastion of defense, just because it's shallows, right? But I definitely need to have more assault railguns than that if I want to make this work. This isn't, you know, the vanilla days where you could just spam like 20 assault railguns and never lose strikecraft, but... Or like never lose 2 strikecraft, that is. Vehicle damage 1 done, by the way, and he's gonna boost in, so he actually wants to take the fight here. We've got a little bit of high ground, but he definitely has the upgrade and numbers advantage, but the 2 base runners with the heal ability, that's what I'm really kind of banking on now. Heavy railgun is out, by the way. It's gonna feel a little bit awkward. It's obviously, you know, heavy rail is not terribly good against LAVs. I'm sure you knew this. I should probably take into power 1 though, because I should feel like he's probably pushing on me soon. Assault rails being produced now. Yes, it is. Although I've got to say, like, fighting over this area when the bases aren't here felt actually pretty good in the new shallows. Second heal popped as well, actually. I'm really trying to keep that assault rail alive, but he does go down. And A-game doing a really good job holding me off of my second base. And I've got to say, this to me came as a little bit of a surprise because I was expecting somewhat more of a slow build to like an eco game. But instead, you know, he's definitely pressuring me with these LAVs, and he's actually getting me off of my bases, which is, you know, exactly what pressure wants to do. That is when you've been able to actually do damage to your opponent. So the carrier's going to move out here. It's not like LAVs can fight a carrier. This does give me a bit of an option to, you know... Oh, and look at this, he'd actually... No, never mind, that was there earlier. Not like the LAVs are going to be able to fight the carrier, so they do kind of have to give the ground a little bit here, but... He's got a rail up on this high ground already. He's got definitely the LAV superiority. He's going to be feeling pretty good about this. And my missile ship tech is not going to help me here, because obviously he's not building it, so... You can see very big investment into assault rails then, but I need to be careful about railguns also. Yeah, it's true, and in fact, there was once a meta, right, where like Coalition would like carrier rush off 2 base and just set up a bunch of turrets here, and then like get up onto 3 base and just extract forever, right? It's like I really want to catch this railgun out here. These LAVs could stop me. My carrier's headed out here to try and stop this extract. Now, once again, I'm doing the same thing from last game. I think because I lost artifacts last time, I'm kind of overreacting here, right? I'm kind of giving up my third base to try and stop these base runners, which I may not even be able to do. This is probably a mistake for me. And it's going to leave the base actually a little bit exposed, too. And these are heavies. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Oh my gosh. That guy gets away with 24 HP. Base runner heals there, though. But you're right, I'm denying my own base here, and like, how long do I want to leave my carrier here on 2 base? You know what I mean? This is like... This is, not great. Not great, I would say, but that being said, I do have the ability to push out on the field right now if I want to, so I should. If I don't push out on the field here, I'm really going to be only losing, I think, as time goes on. The Assault Rail's going to boost, though, so they're definitely going for it. Now, I need to use this barrage and land it well. He can get a split well, though. He really doesn't get hit by these days. And these Assault Rails are definitely getting jumped on, so maybe I was a bit hasty to say I could push here. We do have Rail Armor too, though, so these guys are a little bit hardy. Oh boy. Again, this carrier is not here, right? So I mean, like, if these Assault Rails fall, this is the base is going down. This is very, very nervous for me. And still, no extractions from me, right? And he's building up a force of Rails, which could force out that carrier, and he could get up onto you know, 3 extracts, actually, because he has 2 base runners as well here. Very, very good trade by A-Game there. Like, obviously, he didn't get onto the bases, but he's done a lot of damage here. And yeah, the units lost tab. Holy crap, that just says it all, right? He did lose a probe, which doesn't for some reason count, so actually it should be a little bit higher, but not by much. Now, base runners are ready with the heal ability once again. Dart maneuver would probably be a good investment at this point. Use the heal! Use it! Oh gosh! Yes, he's actually going to get out. Whew, that was close. And the LAV numbers getting reduced pretty far here. Yeah, it's because for some reason I didn't kill that railgun. I left it on like 20 HP. And I guess he's gotten healed by now. Yeah, look, there he is. That guy's seen crap, man. But yeah, now the railguns are here, and they're going to be able to force down these assault rails pretty nicely. I do have no heavies left. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, this is pretty rough. And I mean, what can I do? This is not good. Not good at all. I'm making another PC. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come in with a play for this carrier. And by the way, the base runners know, look, his carrier's still here. I'm not gonna extract, so I might as well come up here and use them for targeting jammers, which is so cool. Barrage is, like, actually kind of okay here. But there's so many LAVs, and they definitely have the, upgrade advantage, that's for sure. This heavy rail's still surviving on, like, its last legs here. Can you believe this? Oh! I keep thinking one of these shots is on that heavy rail and he's gonna die, but he's actually gonna survive miraculously. This PC is out. I've queued up a bunch of skims on it. I'm just gonna leave it on the guard order on the carrier. We're gonna move in and try and make one last pincer for the win. But this is, well, if you didn't know already, this is what we call not good. I basically need to get, like, a full army wipe at this point to have a chance at winning this game. Yeah, yeah, the BM targeting jammer. No, I think that's a cool move, though, because you know you're not going to extract with my carrier there. Might as well come up here and knock out, you know, use those base runners for targeting jammers. Only one heavy rail on this high ground. He does have a nice position, but, you know, you're not usually going to win those. Det packs even being deployed, but I think this is kind of a... you know, one of these desperado things, yep. And that is indeed going to be the game I choose to GG out right here. And A-Game is going to take game 2 pretty well, I would say. But I've got to say, it felt like I was definitely making a choke by moving this carrier out here. I should have just let him extract and deal with it later, but... You know, having lost game 2 that way, I kind of felt like maybe game 3 would go the same way, so... Oh, what? I've lost what folder I was in. Ah, here we go. Let's load game 4 in, then. That, by the way, brings our scoreline to 2-1. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The second PC timing was quite late, and that allowed him to get this really big LAV advantage up on the field. And my perception, I'm not going to lie, of that game was quite skewed at the time, because I wasn't watching the replay. I didn't notice, like, well, he's just getting more LAVs because he has production. I felt like he just outplayed me with the LAVs, and I was like, I don't know if I can really go for skim builds anymore. So at this point I decided I would mix it up. Obviously we are on GT Alts here. That's my pick. AGame's pick next can be Firebase Krill, then Canyon, then Tight End Passage. And my thought here as well, okay, is we aren't on GT Alt. I can make a Rail Rush work on this map, get us back into this series, and then we can tackle Firebase Krill a different way. LAV Fab finishing now for A-Game. Hold on, where's March 1? What the heck? 1 second. Hey, he's here, nice. Okay, well I was about to say, because March 1, of course, if you remember in this tournament, I had a bit of a miracle run to get over to this point at all. March 1 had me up against the wall, and then I managed to, like, somehow, like, he made mistakes, and then I managed to capitalize just barely, and I managed to get out of that series winning 3 in a row. So March 1, of course, he's rooting for me, because you always want the guy who beat you to beat the finalist, you know, because then you feel a bit better about yourself. But in games against March 1, I was, like, really doubting my Rail Rush ability. I couldn't pull it off somehow. And so I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit thrown. I didn't want to do that build too much in this series, but I felt like I had it in my pocket. It was something that I could use if I got behind and I needed to, you know, muscle like a victory over another match. Oh, over another opponent that is, like, in the finals. Wait, what am I saying? Oh my gosh. Whatever, you get what I'm saying, though. I was kind of like, I didn't want to Rail Rush, but I didn't feel like I was gonna win these, I didn't feel like I was gonna win these, like, ref mode games after Game 2 and Game 3. He was playing, Conf in that. Railfab gonna come out for me at a fairly early timing here. You do see the bank of 83 RUs, that means I do have a bit more, skim out on the field, and that's good for me, because obviously, uh-oh, what a choke. Yeah, I could've kept that guy alive. Carry production upgrade is done for A-Game here, so he actually outproduces me at this timing. So I need to get up to my second PC about as fast as I can. Skims here have a bit of high ground, strangely enough. Yeah, they do, okay. That's one thing about this map, it's always been a little bit difficult to see the high ground on it, but if you see that blue plus, you must commit, right? If the blue plus does not fit, you must acquit. Second PC on the way now for me, finally. And our first PC has finished Assault Railgun Fab, so we can begin building those as well. I need a bit of a quick drop. There it is. First Assault Rail is on the way. A-Game, meanwhile, he'd love to expand up onto 2 base if he can, but he's probably just going to keep spamming LAVs here because he knows me. I don't give up on these rail rushes. This is probably not a fake. So he really needs to win the Strikecraft fight. And to that end, he definitely has the numbers. First Assault Rail pops. So up on that ridge here, and this is pretty much free trading, so this is very, very nice for me. He can get dinked a little bit by these LAVs, but he's not going to die, and if they go into commit, then the skims are exactly where they want to be. That's good timing, though, because if I hadn't gotten this guy out pretty fast, those LAVs were going to just eventually have enough numbers to push on me. Second PC popping now. Boy. Here's that second PC finally out. And we do have fleet cap 65 teching, we're pretty close to that. 2 assault rails, and then the rest on skims. This seems like a pretty good distribution. A-Game here, he is going to blink now, so he's starting to produce a support cruiser. Still no rail tech though, and I think rail tech maybe is what he ought to go for. Couldn't A-Game take his LAVs to clear Rico? Well, I could do the same, and because I have rail tech, I could also kill him, so I think that's usually a losing proposition. He really lost this. Yeah. See, I mean, I can tell, like, the support cruiser's not bad, because if you get up onto 2 base and you hold it, you're definitely going to win, but, like, if you get rail fab, I think you can push out these assault rails, because you definitely have the numbers here. Upgrade-wise, neither of us have anything, so he's just now starting to tech into the assault pack. Support cruiser is done. And let's note, by the way, real quickly, Soban, of course, cannot actually, Soban actually really can't heal any of these LAVs until they get, you know, a support cruiser out. This carrier with its very superior range is going to be actually pushing now on these rails here, but note that with no power in the armor, it can actually get hit. Ooh. Yeah, it takes, like, as you can see, yeah, it takes some kind of serious damage here. But Assault Pack is going to finish right now, so I have a feeling he's making moves to have a bit of a carrier power play here. No power 1 done from him, though. And I do have a heavy rail on the way. These LEVs want to boost in, but I haven't used the ability yet. But if he gets control of this ridge, this is really good for him. The question is, how many LEVs can he lose and that still be worth it? Oh my gosh, he's driving straight into me. He's gonna get control of the ridge, though, right? So now it's really difficult for me to push onto that high ground. Assault rails, though, really doing a lot of damage to this carrier. And that heavy is a little bit exposed, but if he dives for it, it would probably be a mistake. ALM gonna get deployed here now, so he's gonna be using the ALMs. Armor break is on this carrier now. Sunder's gonna drop it down to 11, and these assault rails are just gonna do a lot of damage to it. He's really gotta be careful here. He does back away. LEVs are gonna dive onto this heavy rail, but again, I feel like that's gotta be a mistake. And if I win this skimmer war here, this might actually just be the game right here. So this is the moment that really counts, that ALM is powered up. But I'm just gonna decide I can't really quite get it. He does have a high ground here, he's got the ALMs, I need to back away. Back to those assault railguns. That was really tense. You can see why I jumped on it, because if I had killed those, that would have been just the game right there. But as it stands, the skims are getting thinned quite a bit here, but so are the LAVs here. Just too many assault railguns, they have to back away. And the stalemate freaking continues, don't you love it? Sandskimmer Armor 1 done for me as well, by the way, so these guys are fighting at slightly more efficiency. And these assault rails, they will be able to clear out the ALMs quite nicely here, because if the LAVs jump on now, they don't have the numbers, so I can get this ridge again if I want it. LAVs are actually going to jump on it just a little bit here, but this is probably a mistake. I'm not going to trade terribly well. Assault rails are still in the hood. These ALMs are obviously doing some good work as well, but I don't think it can be enough. Yeah, these LAVs here just gonna sit here and trade. Yeah, it's actually like on this point. Like when you go over here, you don't get high ground if I get up onto that same level as you. But like I said, this map has always been that way for me. Like I look at it and I'm like, oh, I have high ground here, and then I'm like, wait, actually I don't. So I can definitely relate to that. Heavy railgun, by the way, being produced by me now. I think, like, the new Gaussian Territories layout is definitely a darn sight better than the old one, but if we had, like, map-making tools, I don't think this one would survive the cut, you know what I mean? Assault rails here still kind of in that stage where they can just kind of trade for infinity, and we do have a heavy out now as well. So I could actually probably commit in harder here, but I feel patient, it's okay, I can wait. I've obviously thrown games like this before, where I have the winning position and then I end up just kind of throwing it away. These rail rushes are always on a knife's edge, but this is definitely a winning position for me. I'm just going to slowly siege down these ALMs here, and he really can't afford to keep replacing them either. I'm actually going to commit on into this one now. This is a bit more of a commit here. Skimmer Armor 2 is going to finish just now. He has Rail Fab now. But it's tricky because once I've gotten here, he has high ground right there. But if I can get, like, behind him, he actually doesn't have it anymore. Whoa. Camera's going crazy. You know, honestly, I can relate. So, maybe it is, but I'm not going to judge you. Still that upgrade advantage for these skims. But they are trading on top of these ALMs here, so they're not trading super efficiently, but good enough to get the job done. First railgun from AGameAnx out, and I really want to prioritize this guy now. I'm a little bit late on it. Okay, so the skims are just going to clear him out for me. Oh yeah, okay, so this guy's prioritizing the support cruiser, but he doesn't have line of sight. I can see why though, because obviously this forces that support cruiser to just move eventually. Skims definitely thin. There's less of them than there used to be, but they have gotten control of the field. There's no LAVs left at all. Support cruiser is gonna drop now. More skims being produced, more heavy rails. I think the era of the assault railgun is past at this point. And this looks like a wrap. At this point, it would have to be a pretty legendary throw to lose at this point. I guess I'll say that. It's also really difficult to tuck the carrier in here. You have to like drive it a little further and then like rotate it facing like here basically. But it's really bad for eco, as you can imagine. So AGame I think is not quite aware that I can still hit him here, but well, I lost line of sight for a second there. Oh boy, he's actually still really fighting back with these LAVs, but that is going to be the final shot, and that carrier does go down. A tense game, man. Anytime you have a 10-minute long rail rush, you're really sweating, but it did work out for me in the end. And to be honest, this is a very fun way to play the game, so that is gonna go game 4 to me then, brings the series to 2-2. I think so too. Yeah. No, I made mistakes as well, but I think he oops. I think he definitely had like a moment to like a couple moments of, you know, like the wrong play there, like kind of trying to force in there with the carrier, not getting the rail tech. I think he could have had a better scenario. Yeah, I agree. I agree. He wanted to hold that hard point though, and you can. Oops. Oh shoot. This is awkward. I think I've soft blocked the game. Let me restart here. That'll happen. If you have a replay that doesn't exist anymore and you try to load it, sometimes it'll give you a message saying it's not there, but sometimes it'll just soft lock, so you have to restart it. But this replay is for real. It's going to be on Firebase Krill. Game 5. And the series, even so far, this is what we all want to see, let's not lie. Obviously, more exciting when the games are even. You know, I remember, was it JC6 I was in the finals as well, right? Actually, let me open this up on Battlefy, because I'm sort of forgetting. But I remember thinking that I really didn't feel very, like, pleased with how the finals had gone, you know what I mean? Like, I could have had, like, it could have been a much better showing. This is AGame versus me, 4-2, that's actually not bad. I think maybe I'm thinking of Jaraci Cup 7 then. But this finals, I think, has already been pretty freaking spectacular. Wait, this is Jaraci Cup 7. What the heck am I talking about? Maybe it was 5, whatever. I'm not invested enough to figure out, because Jaraci Cup 8 is the one that we're doing this Saturday, actually, it begins. By the way, little plug for Jaraci Cup 8, please join. This is going to be the most hyped tournament of all time, so the more players we can get, the better. In fact, there's going to be an announcement in that regard later today that'll be kind of interesting to see. We're at 22 right now. Wait, 23? No, I showed 22. Oh yeah, because Descara hasn't signed up yet, has he? You're right. And will I stream my game versus Dino? Yeah, I will. That won't be today, it'll be on either Friday or Saturday. We're gonna have the details of that a bit later. Back to the game at hand, though. This is going to be an assault ship move here, so I'm attempting to contain AGame. Obviously, you know the play here. He's going to go for SC first in this particular game, so what my goal here is not to kill him or, you know, get a bunch of salvager kills. It's just to slow him down. Get my assault ships up in his face, make sure he has to respond to me, and then I go for ref mode, back away, and try and get up onto 2 base before he can, you know, get it sort of fleshed out. He's got that probe going out here now. I don't quite see it. There it is now. We're going to get a couple shots on it. Oh, that is so good for AGame. This probe's surviving on 6 HP. Now, obviously, the reason is, like, he probably knows that this is, he probably knows this is assault ship because there's no skimmers, right? But this guy is going to see the tech and he's going to scout it for sure. Right there it is. Assault ship tech. He knows. And now he's going to be like, okay, so this is not a rail rush. I need to not overcommit into the defense. The less defense that AGame can make and still survive, the better. That's kind of how he wins this matchup. So that probe getting out on 6 HP, that is so good for him. Very, very nicely done. Base runner is still here, by the way. No, he's got a very nice targeting jammer right here. Well, actually, maybe it could be like, maybe it could be like right there. Oh yeah, I didn't catch that. Okay, that's pretty cool. As you can see, 3 assault ships being produced by me, and then I'm going to save it for ref mode. Wait, what? Oh no, you thought this was the rail module? Aye. For those of you who still aren't aware, the one further back, always rail, assault ships, the one further forward, always rails. So this is the rail module. So I'm going to move out with these assault ships here, try and see what I can see. Obviously the carrier is on this side, so I'm going to back away with this guy. Targeting jammer's on this side though, and it is going to slow me down. I have to clear it out first. Now I could maybe think of moving in, but he does have LAV armor 1, so he probably wins that with a targeting jammer drop. And so, you know, I am slowing him down a little bit. He hasn't filled out like his RU miners or anything, but I don't really think I've done enough damage here. Indeed, you can see I'm sort of trying to bait out this targeting jammer. I don't really want to commit in though. Ref mode on the way now. could kill this probe. Yeah, it looks like that's what I'm gonna go for. No, yeah, it's dead for sure. You know what's really tilting is, like, sometimes in vanilla, you would, like, not kill the probe there. It's, like, the worst thing in the game. Carry production upgrade coming out for A-Game as well here. So this is the first production upgrade. Targeting jammer gonna be deployed here, so it's definitely trying to catch that assault ship, but I think I'm probably okay. Well, this is a lot of LAVs. Yeah, he's not gonna push on it. That's probably wise from him as well. And ref mode is gonna be done in about 20 seconds, but I'd say his mining is still pretty good. I'd say he's ahead here. These guys are working on some kind of new experimental technology. They're completely silent. Rails are out now. I heard him shoot at something too. I didn't see what it was. That's ref mode. But with one railgun here to do Sunder, he can definitely kill this assault ship. So this is kind of scary times for me, and I'm trying to keep the contain up if I can, but... Oh, yeah, okay, it should be dead now. He should just, like, drive right in on top of it once it gets hit once. He's gonna let it live for now. I think a bit of an opportunity missed there. Sunder just ran out, but it's alright, I mean, it's gonna go down anyway. So down goes the assault ship, but I'm gonna try to push in here onto the main base. This is actually good, I found a little bit of a window. There's only 2 LEVs here. Targeting jammer ready to fly, though, from this base burner here. Oh. This guy's getting a little low, but the targeting jammer is so good! Oh my gosh. This guy's not even gonna die, and he's gonna kill both of these assault ships, you gotta imagine, right? Wow. Well, he kills one anyway. This guy stays over here on the flank. But what a... Man, what a cool cucumber. This is, that was pretty close. He didn't lose a single unit here, so... In fact, has he lost any... Oh, man. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say that's probably not good. PC pops here on top of the probes. That's gonna kill this. And, I'm doing it again. I'm driving my carry out here onto the extraction. This is, again, probably a mistake. I'm only gonna get behind by this. I do have another PC on the way, which is kind of nice, but... This is rough. This is rough. I need to get up onto 3 base, but he's gonna get artifact pressure once again, and I really don't want to deal with that this series. I'm sure you've noticed by the way I'm moving my carrier out every game. The thing is, though, A-Game, when he sees this carrier, he's also gonna know, look, he's not on 3 base, and so this is a very, very good position for A-Game to be in, whereas I could maybe get an advantage by just going straight up onto 3. Remember, kids, greed is always good. Yeah, and indeed, it is backing away now. This guy's got targeting jammer off of cooldown here. He could actually use it. A little tricky to get value, though, because I'm obviously in front of him, so if he slows me down, he'll slow himself down as well. That's kind of how you want to play this. Probe gets sniped here, so he won't know exactly when we get up onto 3 base, and he hasn't seen this PC here. He may also be thinking about, like, a carrier rush or something. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, even in game 1, right? Like, that game could have been over much, much faster if I would just, kind of, like, actually scout you and know, like, well, he's got nothing. In this game, I'm getting a little bit lucky that you know, that I'm not just getting outrun to 3 base. LEV's pushing in here now. Damage 2 is on the way, and they have armor 1 already. So these LEVs are pretty beefy, but they're not going to trade terribly efficiently into these assault ships. I was a little bit upset about the, like, the balance with, like, Strikecraft versus assault ships in this patch, just a little bit, but it's really not that bad. They do still definitely die to the assault ships. Railfab, by the way, on the queue for me now, and I do have this PC, but he's not actually on the 2nd, or the 3rd? Okay, there we go. But yeah, you'll notice in the new Jaraci patch, LAVs actually have slightly lower DPS, and the assault ships have more AoE, so... Real problem, though, is not the numbers. The real problem is the fact that A-Game, as you can see, he can really get around me like this, and now I have to kind of react. So he manages to hold field control, even though he does have, you know, the counter unit, or I have the counter unit to him on the field. And that's not easy to do. Railfab on the way for me as well, so I'm not going to go for interceptors here. This is going to be rails and assault ships, which is a very RU expensive composition, but if you can pull it off, it feels very nice. And yeah, that is kind of true. The PC sort of... Sort of suicided here to kill the probe, especially when I had a base runner coming out. That's definitely a waste. Two skims gonna come out here to try and kill off that scout. And I'm just trying to get control of the field here, trying to make sure I have like zones of control, but it's not easy. And if I overextend, of course, these LEVs are just gonna come in and absolutely smack me. A-game though, still not on 3 base. Okay, here's the Sporkers, he's just gonna drive out. So remarkably, I actually end up ahead in eco here. Also remarkably, A-game trades efficiently there. He manages to kill one skim for his LEV that went down. But this is probably an overextend. I don't know, like maybe I can get something done here, but it's probably best I just stay back, especially with the targeting jammer ready to deploy, which I know it's got to be there. You know, is it really worth it to kill an artifact just to, you know, but like to lose all of these assault chips for it? I mean, this is not great. I think at this point, yeah, I would say so, but like up until then, my forces are not terrible here. It's just they're not doing what they should. Cap 85 coming out for me now. Power 2 on the way. And A-game, meanwhile, is teching into Assault Cruiser Fab. It's always a spicy tech. Targeting Jammer is gone, at least, so we may actually stop this artifact extract here. But it's difficult for me to, push in on these railguns. Down goes the base runner. These guys just gonna back away. I mean, maybe if he fell asleep, I could kill this, but it's not worth the risk. But again, like, you can see some holes maybe that the LEVs could exploit here where there's just not enough assault chips. I need to be very careful about this. Power 2, finishing in about 5 seconds. Yeah, but one of them won't fire with marked targets, so it's only worth it when you have more than 4. And since 4 of them can one-shot them, I don't think you need it. Normally I'm a big fan of marked target, of course, I'll have you know, but in this case, I don't think it really actually works too well. Honor Guard Cruiser Fab on the queue now. Ooh. We have base for a heal to pop here. This is armor 2 on these assault chips, but this is not going to work out for me, actually. I think I was a little bit too confident here. These were pretty insane numbers. You can see why HGC fits then, right? Because obviously, you know, he's investing pretty heavy into these LEVs here, and HGC is a very nice counter to that, but it is, of course, low tempo. It's going to be a little hard to get these guys out. And meanwhile, he wants to go for blood. He wants to kill these assault chips as well. Oh boy. This is high ground assault chip, though. This is maybe not the best thing to try. And you know what else I should really have done, too, though, is I should have gotten EMP on the railguns. Now, that would be a really spicy tech here as well. Because EMP is going to enable these assault chips to kill the LAVs so much harder. Uh-oh. LAV is going to chunk these assault chips here. This is what I was saying, right? The assault chips do counter them, but when he gets these numbers, it really feels actually quite hard to fight them. They're not trading efficiently. And this is pretty rough for, isn't much spam, but you gradually build him up over time. It's true. I mean, the thing about A-game is he really does not lose units very often. Especially because he invested into armor 2 right from the get-go. And now they're trading pretty efficiently against these assault chips, and that's kind of a bad time for me. That's a very good critical mass type of scenario for A-game. And with this number of railguns that he's got too, if I'm taking losses like that, like, I don't know, this is going to be really tough to deal with. Armor unit defense is 3 coming out for me now, so I do finally want to, you know, get some, you know, defense against these stupid LAVs here. That's going to give him a little bit more hull, a little bit more armor, but, I don't know, it's going to be tough at this point because he has so many railguns set up. I mean, really, this is a crazy number of railguns. This is like, 1,000 RUs chilling over here. Honor Guard popping now, though. And that Honor Guard could be all the difference. I'd say at this point, pretty much good against everything that A-game has got in his comp, but again, though, scouting a little bit lacking here. I do know he's got rails, but I don't know just how many. It's tough, though, because I need to scout with skims, and I don't have that many of them to use. This guy needs to get out of here as well. Uh-oh. Ouch. That was a little bit choke, I think. Ah. That's kind of interesting. All because you misread the tech, huh? You know, it's kind of funny though. I feel like this is a very, very good response to assault ship first. Uh-oh, these guys getting dunked here. And I'm not really reacting either. I'm trying to like hide. I can't hide there. Yeah, I need to get down onto this low ground. We're gonna lose a few already. And I've got sort of this counterattack going, but like it's not really great. I really need to be dealing with this now. And so the carrier's headed back. This honor guard needs to really come also. I can get this extract out at least. I should really just kind of throw this guy here. Actually, looks like these rails are going to go for a bit of a counterattack, actually, with the honor guard. Honor guard flank. That's pretty interesting. But this base runner really needs to get to that extraction zone. I have a window to extract here, and I really need to use it. Assault ships here trying to do whatever they can, but there's artillery out now. When did this happen? And this is a precision barrage, too. And the targeting jammer is so good, too. Oh, no. Wait, no, this is just auto-fire, isn't it? Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, you can't sustain these kind of unit losses forever. And A-Game has been very, very safe with these LEVs too, right? Like, he's never let me get an honor guard shot on them. And they really have traded very efficiently into these assault ships. I mean, this is not easy to do. Oh, jeez, these guys are just melting. Like the Wicked Witch of the West. That was a lot of assault ships, man. That's gonna be a feels bad man for sure. Artillery hitting these guys as well, and he's gonna send the carrier back to try and deal with this. I've held him off of his main, he's held me off of my main, but I mean, whose army do you prefer, right? That being said, Honor Guard is in the hood now. But he's got a lot of work to do. I think that's clear. Not to mention, there is artillery out already. Yeah, me neither. I think these guys really needed to be back to defend. Well, HGC might be the game-winning tech, but it's not going to be easy to use. There's no guarantee I would have won if I had it on the other side, but it definitely would have been better. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Gonna try to push these rails out now, so I've got one heavy here, I've got this Honor Guard. Honor Guards, of course, very good units, as we've seen so far in this series. Needs to back away now, though. I want to get another shot off, it seems, but I'm probably not going to get it. LAVs, actually, they're going to try to jump in onto this Honor Guard here. This is something we don't see very often, but if they can get just a little bit further, they're going to kill one. They're going to kill two. Oh, no. You're definitely not supposed to let LAVs kill your Honor Guard cruisers, that's for sure. And they might even go for 3, but they're going to clear up all of the railguns on this side. The carrier maybe can deal with this, who knows, but like I don't think it even matters, not remotely. Oh no. Oh my. What a slaughter. Very, very, very good value here for A-Game. And this is probably one of those fantasy GG timings, I think, yeah, in fact, it's not. I'm gonna choose to surrender right here. Man, I feel kind of styled on for that. Because those LAVs just kept trading so well into the assault ships, I just couldn't deal with them. That was really nicely done by A-Game. Let me load Game 6 into here, and for the first time, potentially the last one, I am up against the wall. The scoreline is 3-2 now. Yeah, right, when LAVs kill the unit that's designed to counter them, like, you know somebody's made a mistake if LAVs are killing HGC, right? Like, that just should never happen. This is kind of an interesting story here, though. Because I had the second to last pick, I picked Canyon Alt here, and that actually means that I get to pick the ace match as well, because obviously there's only one map left in the pool, that's Tight End Passage. And I was kind of thinking to myself about, you know, what I wanted to do this game. This is going to be a rail rush here. And I thought, if I can win this, I have some funny strats to pull off on Tight End Passage. I was thinking of doing like a ref mode first fake, where like you have the base runner come out and prop a scanner, and then the PC comes out in the backline. But I've done that so many times, maybe he'd expect it, so I had some other ideas prepping as well. I think Tight End Passage is maybe like one of the better maps for me. And so I'm thinking, okay, if I can win this game, we bring it to the ace match, and I have a chance to win this finals. This is not over yet. Support cruiser, by the way, on the queue here for A-Game. And he's gonna be popping open this wreck though, and he has actually, yeah, he has no one on RUs here. Wow. Yeah, you're correct about that, A-Game. That is a pretty insane LEV spam map. I'm just thinking maybe with that element of surprise I can get something done there, but hard to say though. I would have had to think about it. I wasn't quite set just yet on what I was gonna do, but yeah, I was pretty excited for that ace match, and I really felt like, okay, if I can win this game, I can get to that ace match, I can win this series. This is still not in the bag by any means. I'm definitely behind on this series, but I don't feel too bad about it. By the way, A-Game just now filling out RU miners. This is quite interesting. LEV Fab is done for him. And he's actually getting a blip here, I think, from the targeting jammer, so I should probably just get a move on, but I'm actually being a little bit slow here. Okay, now he's gonna see the skims. This is a bit of a vulnerable salvager. I should probably try and go for it here. I think I was waffling because I was trying to decide if I wanted to attack on his second or on his main. But this has got to be LEV spam, right? Otherwise he wouldn't have this many CUs, I'm thinking. But you know what? Actually, don't I back away here? Yeah, okay, I kind of back away a little bit here. So this might look like it's actually an assault chip play. Well, with 5 LEVs, I think you should know it's gonna be Rail Rush, but hard to say. You can see I don't feel confident moving past this ALM here, so I'm actually gonna take the long track. This is gonna slow me down a little bit here, but A-Game does have to sort of, you know, respect this, so he's probably not gonna be able to sit on 2 base. And my thought here is, well, okay, his second base has so many dunes that he can hide behind. I could deny the money from it, but I couldn't really kill the carrier with that. So I'm thinking that I probably want to just go in straight for the main, and this is a bit of an all-or-nothing play. I'm going to try to either win the game right here or lose. Well, I'm not going to try to lose, but you know what I mean. First trade's coming in here, but he's on the SC and the ALMs here, so maybe this is not a good idea. We're going to trade 1 for 2. This is a good opening salvo for A-Game, and a Dep Pack lands on his own ALM, that's what I would say. But here's the Assault Rail coming out now for the first time. Actually targeting that ALM though, so I want to get the kill on this, and I will get it. Okay. This is actually kind of tricky for A-Game, because he needs to set down more of these. And that's quite an expensive unit. It's like killing 2.5 LAVs, right? Second Assault Rail coming out. And I think perhaps A-Game was a little bit surprised here about, you know, like what the build was. I think perhaps he was expecting Assault Chips, but it's hard to say. He's in chat, he can enlighten us if he has a moment. Oh boy. Support cruiser's taking some damage. This is never what you want to see. Okay, see, we're expecting Rail Rush. The Assault Railguns are pretty low too. Tense on both sides, but a very good trade for me. We're getting in there now. Second PC is on the way for me. Carry production upgrade is done. He has armor 2 on the way. So this is a very, very good start that I've gotten here, but he does actually have a push coming up, because once he gets armor 2, he's definitely going to be able to push on this position, I think. And obviously I don't have the production, so I may have to get, you know, forced back here. Ooh. Skimmer armor 1 coming out for me now. He hasn't had the money to go for rail tech though. Now this support cruiser halfway dead. If I can finish this guy off, that would be so good for me. A-Game with no float here either, so keeping these guys on CUs must be the right choice if he's not floating. Otherwise he can put them onto RUs and try and get rails out, but I think he really needs to prioritize the LAVs here. It's a little tricky when you could get caught like halfway onto 2 base. Boy, another good trade for me though. Just by virtue of these assault railguns being insane, I think. I really need to be careful here though, I can't lose them. Second PC is out, it's coming. Oh boy, these skims are making me a bit nervous. They probably shouldn't be fighting around the SC like that. Okay, so the Sawan carrier, you're gonna flip now positions with this support cruiser. He's gonna take the support cruiser onto the second base. Assault rail's caught by the ALMs there, they're taking damage. He's gonna kill 1, he's gonna kill 2, he gets both of them. That's so big for him. But that second PC is coming, and he doesn't have the production advantage anymore, and I in fact have the numbers by quite a margin here. I think it's 5 to 8. This game is still alive, man. This is very close. Yes. This is like every time like one little thing goes wrong, we both think we've lost the game. I mean, it's like it's really close here. And this, of course, for the finals if A-Game can win this game. He's got it all to win here. For me, still one more map to play if I win this one. Assault Rails starting to hit on this carrier just a little bit. You know, not in like a flirtatious way, more in like a pounding type of way. But anyway, damage 1 actually finishing for these LEVs. So they have a lot of upgrades here. And it's always dangerous if you're only looking at the numbers and you're not every now and then clicking on his upgrades to see what he's got, right? You might just get outclassed and not realize it. This is what you came here for, don't deny it. LEV's trading really well if I let him have this high ground, so I want to stay back a little bit, just want to get damage with these assault rails. Keep kind of pushing and pulling here, pushing and pulling. Power moves into the ALMs now. Ooh, this is very tense though. The first heavy railgun done now. This is going to allow me to siege down this carrier. Damage 2 coming out from A-Game. So he's definitely going to have the upgrade lead. Okay, he's going in for a bit of a dive here. Yeah, kind of even trade actually, to be honest. He lost, I think, 3 LAVs there and one of the assault rails went down as well as the skim. But this heavy rail is just slowly pushing him off of his base here, and like A-Game is saying, I don't have the upgrade advantage here, so this is tough. Uh-oh, we're going in for a bit of a commit here. The thing is, the numbers are kind of lying to me, because they're actually not going to do as much damage as they look like they will. If the assault rails go down, he will actually win the game here. And it doesn't look like it at first, because I don't realize he's got these ups, but damage 2 finishing now, he might actually even commit in here. But skims, they have high ground here. Uh-oh, uh-oh. This is quite a bad trade for A-Game. He's losing all these LEVs. Oh my gosh, like 6 of them dying right there. Really bad trade for him, and all of a sudden, how the turntables, right? But the assault rail's getting a little bit too close. I can smell the blood in the water, but I need to be patient here. He's also killed that heavy rail, so I really need to rebuild it. Which is going to cost money as well, which could have been going into these upgrades. And the LEV count is still, the sand skimmer count is still thinning here. Oh my gosh, this is just insanity. Oh boy. I know the outcome of this game, and it's still intense to me. This is crazy. LEV's gonna catch a bit of high ground here. They're hitting on this PC now, and again, not in a flirtatious way. Oh, but the skims, they're doing exactly what A-Game just did, fighting on the LEVs from the low ground here, and the assault rails are getting damage in, but all the skims are gonna die here. I was thinking the assault rails would go down, but no, this is actually the win condition all of a sudden for A-Game. Oh no, what a throw! And these skims, these LEVs are just gonna absolutely fly in here and chunk up these railguns. And all of a sudden it comes crashing down, not to mention the upgrade advantage that A-Game has got here. There's no way that both of these PCs will survive. And it turns on a dime. Look at this. A-Game, all of a sudden, he's got definitely the winning position. Just in one moment there, it flips on me. Crazy. Now that, friends, is what we call a bozo throw. Skins here actually trading kind of decently. I'm a little bit impressed with my micro there, but... Man, look how low the carrier got too. He's down on 1/4. Very, very close. It looks like I'm gonna actually play this game out here, but this is fantasy GG timing for sure. Once the PCs get caught like this, they're going to die, and there's really not much that the Gaussian player can do to stop this. That should be the end. And indeed, A-Game going into the triple carry production upgrade here. He's just gonna spam LAV, and that's all he needs to win here, really. So, Garmulator 2.0, right? This PC getting chunked pretty hard. And it will fall. Second PC here, meanwhile, actually is going to survive for now, but the LAVs can dive back in and kill it if they want. This is something March 1 would do. He would just fly in there and kill it. Right on time to watch what is looking to be the last game, as the scoreline is 3-2. But things not looking good for the old cow here. Indeed. A pity too, though, because that was definitely the winning position that I had, but coming in on those LEVs instead of just forcing them out with the assault rails, quite a mistake. You can see this high ground, it's pretty advanced high ground. Power 1 coming out now, meanwhile, for moi. Obviously I need this to try and defend against these LEVs, but holy crap. How many LAVs is that? 21? Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I'm gonna do about this. Thoughts of transitioning to the mid-game are pretty much non-existent here. Because the thing is, he's playing this real passive, but he could just drive in and kill everything. And at that point, I would GG. I'm not interested in playing that out, but... He's playing it a little passive here. I've got an Assault Rail. Hey, I could still win, right? Assault Rail's outrange LAVs. No, it's actually in range already. Yeah, not to mention they have damage too. This number of LAVs is an absolute terror. I mean, they'll kill this PC in like 5 seconds flat. Looks like he's just gonna go for... Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, check this out. Oh, look at the depth packs though! That's pretty good. Skims are doing what they can, but this PC is gonna fall. And with that PC, probably I will choose to surrender. I don't think there's really any chance at this point. And that's gonna be the game. That depth pack though, that was pretty smooth. And A-Game is gonna take the finals once again. No surprise there, it's A-Game, but hey, I gave him my best shot. I felt like this was a really good finals. Yeah, well played to you too, my friend. Well, he already has the champion role, so he doesn't exactly get anything out of this, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and just another reminder, JC8 is going to be starting on Saturday, so please register if you haven't already. That tournament is going to be insane. There are Steam keys on the line. Everyone who plays their group stage games will be in the running to get one of the 8 that are going to be given out. Yeah, definitely make sure you register for that if you have any interest at all. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.